Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast. It's episode 116 of the Hop Nation USA Podcast, and I'm here with my co-host Adam.
Yes.
The Dan Soder to my Big J Okerson.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I know you don't get references that are beyond 2010.
It's a tight window, I'll admit.
Not really. It's not a tight window. It's just you don't know things of the now.
Nah, that's true.
You were making references to Don Knotts
It's true.
before we just turned on the microphones.
And not even Three's Company Dawn Knots.
Yeah, no, Mayberry.
Mayberry Dawn Knots. Which, you know, it's on TV land still. It's relevant.
God. Moving on. We are also joined by guest host Dennis,
Glad to be here.
returning for I don't know how many episodes now.
Ooh, I don't know. I think 20%.
Yeah.
We're just it's
about
just
a
a
baker's
percentage
dozen.
at this point now.
Okay. You're eventually going to get above Shaq's free throw
One day.
one day. And we're also joined by another special guest, Bryan Llewellyn. You may have heard him on episode 107. He was the organizer of the Homebrew Fest that we were at the North Hills Homebrew Festival for the Serious Shrine. Say hello, Bryan.
Hello.
Glad to have you back.
Yes.
He followed that to the T. Say hello,
Yeah.
Bryan. Hello.
It's very easy when guests just say what you want them to. Just guide them. But, you know, we have Bryan on the show this week because Bryan took a trip down to North Carolina, and then Bryan brought back beer.
Ooh, damn. So many bees.
Yeah, I know. Too much alliteration.
It's like Oprah Winfrey's in here. Bees?
Bees? But he brought back beer from North Carolina, and that means we're going to do a North Carolina State episode.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, add another pin to the map for those of you at home, and thankfully we are going to be drinking some good beer, thanks to Bryan.
Yes. So thank you. And welcome back to the show on an episode where you don't have to run around like a chicken with your head cut off.
No, I do not.
You get to come
Enjoy.
and relax, drink some beers, talk some shop.
And just breathe.
Yeah.
That's important.
Just put your feet up. I don't care.
Sounds
Well,
good.
actually, no, because then you're going to be away from the microphone.
Also,
that
if
won't
he puts his feet up, I think he's going to be putting them up on Dennis.
That is true.
Going across the table.
Yeah, we don't need to be
Pretty
playing
far.
footsie.
So I guess we should be talking about beers.
Yeah. So Adam, why don't you introduce the first beer brought back by Bryan?
First beer brought back by Bryan.
Yes, that's going to be the theme for the rest of the episode.
So
Who can do it? Who can do it fastest? Who
Oh,
can do it
man.
hardest?
not me.
There's so many you could do.
Nope. So the first brewery that we are doing tonight is D9 Brewing.
Hey-o.
Yeah, we've had them on the show. We've had them on our sister show, Yin's Brewing. Catch them on mca-tv.org.
Well, we had their legal advisor,
Yes.
Abby. He was on telling us about the do's and don'ts of opening a brewery.
Ooh.
And we featured, what was that crazy-ass beer?
I don't know, but it was good.
It was like made with white chocolate. It was a sour that wasn't a
What?
sour. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Chocolate in a sour?
Yeah.
It was-
D9's pretty much known for their sours. So, they're pretty good at wilding out with that. But
Yeah.
we don't have a sour this time.
good. No, we do not. We have, fresh from Cornelius, North Carolina, which is where D9 is based out of, we have the Hakuna Matata.
Ooh.
What a wonderful phrase.
Oh, boy. I knew he was going to do it. Just knew it.
It is a tropical IPA, if you want some numbers. 6.5, 72.
IBUs?
Ooh.
IBU 72.
Haha.
So,
That's the anti-Adam amount.
that is.
Of
However, it is
IBUs.
a tropical IPA. So you're going to find notes of mandarin orange, pineapple, grapefruit, and elderflower.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like elderberry, but bigger.
Oh.
I assume.
Is it still a flurry?
I have no idea. I made that up.
I combined flour and berry. Is it a
I
flurry?
just blew right by it.
Honestly, I would think elderflower would be more delicate than the berry.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Find out, question mark?
Elderflower. All right.
That's right.
Or it's just the oldest of the flower bunch.
Yes.
That could be it.
So you have to respect it.
Adam looks like he's mixing chemicals. Like
He's being
he has to get it exactly right.
he's
Like,
being very cautious. He's trying to not short anybody
That's
on their
right.
pour.
yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
If he gained 150 pounds, he could pull off a what was it, Professor Robotnik? Like with
Oh.
that mischievous smile he had on his face.
I mean, it's steady work, so I'd be all right with that.
Steady.
You know, I got.
PETA will be all over you, though. You're just chasing down animals and trying to kill them. It's terrible.
I got robots too, so I'll always have
You
friends.
don't even do your own dirty work. You miss
See, Dennis, you don't have to like jump to another bad, animated movie that's coming up. Currently, we have one that's relevant right now. The new Lion King movie came out.
What are you talking about? It's live action.
It's not live action.
No, not at all.
It's animated, and it's also apparently very bad.
I can see that.
Yeah, I was reading some reviews. Bad.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Already.
Already bad.
okay. So let's counteract that with something hopefully good
Hopefully.
from the beautiful people of D9 Brewing out of Cornelius, North Carolina.
Yes. Looking at the beer, it is very hazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a deep orange yellow, deeper than a straw.
Not quite a copper.
No, not copper. And it has a nice fluffy head to it, really. Surprisingly.
Didn't Fish write
It's
a
always
song
good-
about that?
I don't know. I don't listen to jam bands. Jam bands are crap.
Spoiler, they did.
Okay.
Super zesty on the nose. It just flies right up at you.
A lot of pineapple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the nose, I get a lot of that zesty orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of the pineapple as well.
Definitely gonna get some vitamin C's and some vitamin A's in here with all those elder flowers and pineapples and stuff.
Well, then let's get some vitamin beer going
yeah.
and let's drink this.
Fight the scurvy. I'm there. Brian?
I'm not too sure it's very tropical.
I kind of agree with you on that one. It's a little bit up front. It's tropical, but then it
Backs
swaps right over into a hoppy beer,
Yeah.
and it's sticking around just a little bit.
It's a
A
good
little bit for you.
it's a good summer beer.
It is crisp. I'll give him that. It is a lighter fare. I'll give him credit on that one.
Well, I pick up, you get a lot of the tropical notes on the nose, but once when you dip in, it's crisp, it's clean. It just reminds me of just a little juicy, but I don't get a whole lot of hops. And maybe it's just my flavor profile just getting silly over this past year.
I think
over the
you've-
top hops, but
you've
I
just-
don't get a lot now.
You've just wrecked your body. That's all there is to it. There's no
I am
recovery.
broken.
You are broken.
I don't know. I get the hops on the back end. It does have that resinous, back end to it. Yeah, kind of hard to find the tropical.
Right.
It is definitely more on the nose than it is on the taste.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
I can
Good
dig
drinking
it.
beer.
Still a good beer.
Yeah.
It's one of those beers that you could just crush on a hot summer day.
Oh, yeah.
If that was your first beer, Hakuna Matata, you're just gonna slam it.
You think it'd be a good river floater?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I would
Or you-
trail a sixer behind me in a tube.
As you consume some grubs.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I did float in the river on Saturday with this beer.
Oh man.
Oh, there you go. Then we've got first-hand experience. Was it or was it not
It
a
was
good
very-
river beer?
It was good, very refreshing. Nice slow float down the river.
That was a very astute observation. Right on the money, some would say.
Turns out this beer is river approved.
Yes. Right on. Well, I'm enjoying this beer.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody else is enjoying this beer.
It was good.
I get it.
Except
Yeah.
for maybe Adam.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I get it.
enjoying it as best he can. Hakuna Matata means I haven't had a bad beer from D9.
The streak continues.
So that means, for now, we're going to get into the news, notes, and neat of the week.
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
Oh, I'll go. I feel excited about things.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the good people of Founders, that little scamp of a brewery up in Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing things.
Sure. It's one way to say
Yeah.
things.
Oh, that was pretty good news, Adam.
Yeah.
They're doing things. Great.
Insert proper nouns.
What else you guys got? No, their CBS. That's one of their flagships. Everybody knows what the CBS is. That is the Canadian Breakfast Stout. It is being re-released again in 2019.
Yeah.
But this time it is being released in 12-ounce bottles. So you don't have to worry about the big 22 ounces, the 750 milliliters, having to find the proper place and time to drink it. You can just pop a 12er, be done, and move on.
It also gives you more trade bait.
Yes.
It also, and actually the 12 ounce was released in Canada, I believe, last year.
It
for
was
the 2018 release.
It was actually released everywhere but the United States in 12-ounce bottles.
Right. So
Bigger's better.
Yeah. So this time around for 2019, it's supposed to be released November 1st.
yeah,
It will be in 12-ounce bottles. It will be in the bombers, and it will also be available via keg. But the real news here is beyond 2019, they have no future plans to re-release it.
cool.
They,
At all.
Well, in
Or in the
the
12 ounces.
foreseeable future was the phrase used.
Huh.
So I think it's something that's going to go back into hibernation like it did in 2011 and 2014, where it's going to kind of go
Or-
to the back of the recipe book.
Or it's something they're throwing out there that get people to buy a ton of it and
That
sell
is
it.
that is possible as
That
well.
It's marketing.
That's good FOMO marketing, yes.
Yeah.
And bring it back out for a big rush.
Yep.
Right. So, yeah, cool. Whatever. I don't really care. I didn't like it that much when it came out in 2017. I was pretty disappointed with it then. I feel like I wasted $32. Yeah.
Eesh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the nicer thing about with the 12-ounce bottles. It's a little easier pill to swallow.
Well, I mean, you can split it among friends.
That too.
Yeah. It's a little easier that way.
Agreed.
But whatever. Do what you want November 1st. Or go stand in line for Goose Island on Black Friday. Do whatever. I don't care.
Wow. All right. That's a real motivator. I'm just going to go over.
I feel like I just walked into a Hot Topic store in 1998 right now.
Yeah, I just kind of shrug my shoulders at Founders anymore. I don't. It's like, yeah, they still do some good stuff, but it's like, nah, whatever. So I have a little bit of a local. That's good news.
Local is good.
Good news. Lincoln Avenue Brewery has finally got their open date.
Do they?
Yes.
Excellent. When?
As first reported on Breweries in PA website, they are opening officially July 27th. That is a Saturday.
Excellent.
Yeah. So there you go. Go see.
All right.
Go hang out with Grant and Lisa, and they'll be opening up. Supposedly they'll have sandwiches and salads available for food. I don't know if that's for sure going to be on the first weekend. Breweries in PA said it would be. But
so if it's not, write them and tell them you want your sandwich.
Right. If it's not, though, it will be an eventual thing that they are going to have food there. You can even go back to episode 88 of our own podcast where we interviewed Grant and Lisa, and they told us that they do have plans for food. And when they open up, they will have 6 taps, and they'll be expanding to 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they like they're running lines for 12. It's just, first open.
Right.
Yeah, and they got to
gotta
build up the supplies.
Right. And
6 is still solid for opening.
yeah.
Is that in Bellevue?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Right on the strip of you guessed it, Lincoln Avenue. Right on the main street.
Well, there's a Lincoln Avenue in Millville.
So, Dennis, what is up with you?
So we got a couple things coming up. So our biggest thing that we're happy to be a part of is Freshfest.
Yes.
Which it's even fresher this year.
That's how sequels work.
That's how they get down. So we were a part of it last year. So this year it's August 10th. Super pumped. They're actually having Garrett Oliver come out, which is the master brewer for Brooklyn Brewery. So they have like a ton of people in the craft beer industry that saw how great of an event it was last year and want to take part in it this year. So that's super cool. We got together at Dave Bracey and Mike Potter for to do a collaboration brew box together. So we got some of the most dopest swag that they have, and we showcasing it in our brew box. And we partnered with Uncle Jimmy's Sauces, which you guys probably have seen him on previous episodes. But we teamed him up with East End and Black Brew Culture, their Brew IPA. We actually made a fresh to death barbecue sauce, which we're it's going to be really, really tasty. Tried some the other day. Got a nice bottle label on there, so we're putting that in our brew boxes. So definitely jump on the website, firsthitbrewbox.com, check that stuff out. We're also doing some pregame fest for Freshfest this month. If you're in Pittsburgh, go on down to Fury Brewing in Irwin, PA. So we're going to be doing some stuff with those guys. NX Brewing in Homestead, we got an event coming up. We're going to do a Fresh Fest brunch with those guys. So just stay tuned. We got a lot of really unique stuff coming up.
So if you're listening on a Friday, as you should, you can go down to Fury right now, and Dennis and the guys down at Fury will be hanging out and showing off some Freshfest goodness.
Yes.
Yes. And Brian, what's new in your world? We've talked to you before. You're part of Tap That Pittsburgh. That's your home brewing outfit.
Correct.
I know you guys were a part of the Oakmont Yacht Club Homebrewing Fest.
Yeah, it was our first time going to that event. It was a nice little event, between 14, 17 brewers. They had BJCP judges there to judge the winning beer, which was going to be brewed at Leany Cask. I'm not sure when. They haven't given a date on that yet. And the home brewer that won that, his name is Justin Goodfellow from Goodfellow Brewing. And we have another Brewfest coming up in August 24th, actually, at Cooper's Lake Campground. That is an all-weekend event. Friday night is a brewers only event, and Saturday is open to the public. Last year there was well over 100 brewers there, and countless beers. And if you're a brewer, 192.
Wow.
It was counted.
We try to drink them all.
Count full beers.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't remember. Yeah, and I'm not sure how much it costs to get in on Saturday for the public, but you go online and
Whatever that
up.
price is, it's a bargain.
well worth it.
Yeah.
Well worth it. And if I think that also includes your camping for Saturday night if you pay to go to the event.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Yeah, if you're a home brewer, you can stay there for free and camp the weekend. You just have to brew a batch while you're on site.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about paying your way.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
They don't say what you have to brew.
They don't
You
say,
just have to brew.
you just have to brew. There's like we were there and we saw people just brewing like little 1 gallon batches. Some people were, and then some other guys, they had a giant RV and they were brewing 2 20-gallon batches.
my
Oh yeah, they're going to
It was
town.
madness.
Must be nice to have money.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. You'll run the gamut from everybody, just like small brewers like Adam and myself, to the guy who was he works for Church Brew Works as like one of their maintenance men, but he's also a brewer himself, and he had this giant electrical setup that was like all automated.
Man.
He had 13 taps pouring.
It was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it looked like an old saloon or something.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had
yeah.
everything set up. It was
Oh
it
my
was wild.
god!
Yeah.
It's like you run away from home and you travel 3 days through the woods, and then you come upon this.
Except for it's only 40 minutes from from Pittsburgh, so it's even better. But yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll probably see you up at Cooper's Lake then.
Good deal.
'Cause, yeah, we had a good time last year going, so yeah, we'll probably go again. Yes.
And maybe this time we won't bring cameras.
Maybe this time we won't. Yeah,
We'll be much more mobile.
yeah, we'll just go to drink.
There you go.
So I got one last news story, and this one I tied into our theme for the evening.
Okay.
So it's a North Carolina news story, but it's coming from North Carolina, and NC State has paired with New Belgium Brewing, and they have a collaboration beer coming out called the Old Tuffy Lager.
Old Tuffy?
Old Tuffy.
Who or what is an Old Tuffy?
I don't know. That's
Okay.
just what they called it, but it is featuring the Wolfpack mascot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the name of the mascot. Old Tuffy.
I don't think it is, because I searched and it didn't come up. If you search Old Tuffy, all you get is the beer.
See, I would think if you search that, all you get was a $2 steak.
That's the thing. It's just meant to be like a throwback beer.
Okay.
Because they're even using like the old Wolfpack mascot.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like an old throwback to like, I don't know, like they're trying to be an Iron City.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's going to be available next month in August. And because the state just passed laws that allow universities to sell beer at their sports venues, there's a good chance you'll see this at the NC State sports venues.
So get yourself an Old Tuffy.
Yes. But yeah, it was brewed in collaboration because the college has its own brewery and it has its own brewing program.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So they're trying to encourage things, encourage people to actually use it.
Well, I mean, in the state of North Carolina, that makes complete sense.
Right.
If you have towns like Asheville and even Charlotte is coming up,
Yeah.
lickety split,
Yeah.
there is ample opportunity to use that knowledge and
Yeah.
education.
And what it does is because they paired with New Belgium, who is based out of Asheville. And they also, and New Belgium actually also did a sister version of this beer in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Where they originally
Right.
from. They're doing this pairing because they can encourage students to get like internships and things like that.
Gotcha.
The collaboration, kind of transfers into work. So, yeah,
That's pretty cool.
all good things. That's your news for North Carolina.
You can't drink yet, but you can brew.
Yes, you can brew. So yeah, that's the good news from North Carolina.
Right
The
on.
other good news is that this D9 beer is still very good.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Get a little bit more orange as more and more I drink it.
I see that everybody went back to get more.
That's true.
For show.
To me, that's a seal of approval right there.
Yes.
It is. It's a very drinkable beer.
Yeah, it's really clean. It's very like easy drinking. It has almost like a West Coast IPA taste to it. It's just the
More
the
mellow, maybe.
Huh?
A little bit more mellow.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more mellow, but it still has the good bitterness that it's not. It's signaling that it's not just some New England IPA that's like all soft and stuff.
Right. We don't drink those soft IPAs.
So, what do you say we take a quick break?
Yes.
Shut her down.
Yes.
Come back, segment 2. New beer, new information. And
All kinds of stuff.
And Dennis will still be here. That's weird. Don't do that.
That's just sounds that my body makes. I can't help it. As you get older, Adam, things happen.
I'm older than you.
Well, I've lived a very hard life.
Oh yeah.
All right, we will be right back. First Sip Brew Box is a one-of-a-kind subscription service for craft beer lovers based right here in Pittsburgh. Every month, First Sip will send you a box full of craft beer enthusiast essentials, including t-shirts, glassware, and even food. Right now, our friends at First Sip Brew Box have an offer for you. Just sign up for a 3-month subscription and get your 4th month free. Just enter the code HOPUSA when you sign up at firstsipbrewbox.com. That's HOPUSA at checkout to get your 4th month free at firstsipbrewbox.com.
Welcome back. It's segment 2 of episode 116 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. We're doing a North Carolina episode, so let's raise up, take our shirts off, and twist them around like helicopters.
Ooh, I like it.
Yes.
Little Petey Pob.
Little Petey Pablo.
Yeah,
Little
man.
Petey Pablo. You like that? Little Petey Pablo.
I used to sing that randomly, and that song was caused my wife to leave me, so I will not sing that again.
Fair enough. Well, you can't sing it now because we don't have the money.
It's true.
And I bet Petey Pablo is hurting for money, so he's just looking for people to sue.
Everybody getting sued these days.
We ain't got Petey Pablo money.
In the meantime, though, I'm going to let Dennis introduce beer number 2 that Bryan brought back.
All right. Let's jump in on this.
So go ahead.
So the brewery's Catawba out of North Carolina. They actually have 4 different locations throughout North Carolina, which is super cool. The beer we're having today is called White Zombie. It's actually a white ale clocking in at 5.1%, 7 IBUs.
Yes.
So this is an Adam-friendly beer.
This is a break.
So it's a PG-13 of beers. So I'm definitely
right with
super
that.
pumped to jump into this. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay.
There's just too much to read.
I did do a little reading, and it originally started as a seasonal Halloween beer.
Makes sense.
But they said because it's so refreshing and so good that they'll just produce it year-round now.
All right.
I'm glad you cleared it up because I'm wondering why I got a beer called White Zombie in the middle of summer.
Right.
And they actually, some of the literature they put out there is don't be scared to blow the head off of a zombie. Jesus.
Right on.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's crack this bad boy and see what we got.
Well, you're blowing the head off of it right now.
So looking at this one, it's very, very hazy. Like it's even more opaque than the last one.
Oh, yeah, it sure is.
But it's not as dark. It's very much just a pale straw.
Yeah.
Yep.
But got a nice white head on it.
Yeah. Fluffy as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Witbier. It should be fluffy and big.
Damn right.
Yeah. It should be.
You know what's good for you, white zombie.
Belgians give good head. And that's just the fact.
That's just how the world works.
How is that not a t-shirt?
I don't know. I'm sure it is on some shitty website that's not ours. That's not.
That's not tpublic.com.
Thank you. That's not tpublic.com. Yeah.
Search
I
Hop
love
Nation
it.
USA for all the best craft beer T-shirts.
On the smell, I get some funk.
I should have thrown
Yeah.
out what some of the notes were on this, huh? Probably should have did that.
Okay.
Additions of coriander, orange
There
peel,
it is.
give it a fruity and spicy character.
Mm-hmm. As most wits should. Have
Agreed.
both coriander and orange.
I feel like you're the world villain for Belgians and Witbiers. Like you're just threatening companies making these, as they should.
As they should. Well, yeah. You don't call it a wit beer if it's not going to have coriander. It should be spicy and it should be orangey.
Steve will knock on your door and he'll let you know.
I'm not, a BJCP judge, but
You done messed up, Ron.
There goes the whip beer I just made on Friday.
Say he's not the judge, but he's the jury and executioner.
did you throw peppercorn in it?
I did not.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
I just used the whip beer base.
Okay.
You're so mean, Steve.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Homebrewing is different because homebrewing is just basically anarcho-communism. You just do whatever you want. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Well, wouldn't that just be all red ales?
No, because it's still anarcho.
I'm going on that.
I know, but it's different.
Were you making a Red Scare joke?
Yeah, a
Were you
little,
sliding communism?
little McCarthyism up in this piece.
I appreciate it.
Stop trying to blackball homebrewers.
Yeah, better red than dead, comrade.
It's very good.
good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they hide all 7 of those IBUs nicely. I like that.
They sweep it right under the rug. Like any child saying his room is clean.
Just don't look in there.
Yeah, that's good though. It's got a nice little bit of a spice to it up front, and then it's just very refreshing overall.
Mhm.
That I understand why you can find this in July.
But oddly enough, I do find a little bit of creaminess in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I like that.
It's definitely tasty.
Not
And
a-
you do pick up a little bit of that spice character to it, but it's, again, just super smooth. I guess all these are semi-summer beers because it's summer and
Yeah.
it's North
Yeah.
Carolina.
And it's really hot down there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, well, I'm always surprised by any state south of Virginia that brews stouts. Just like Florida and the Cigar City.
Yeah,
I don't understand how they have stouts down there like they do.
they got them.
Air conditioning.
Well, yeah, air
That's the only
conditioning is
reason.
something- like they have good stouts down there. I feel like no state below Virginia should have good stouts, but sometimes they do. So
They just pop up.
yeah, they should just like have a little thin.
I still drink stouts in the summer.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, same.
oh yeah. That's all of us up here. But we can.
All weather is stout weather.
Yeah,
That's right.
There's another T-shirt idea.
Yes.
All weather, stout weather.
Just not for winter.
yeah. Overall, I like this beer.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And the can's nice.
Yes, the can is nice.
Good
Simple.
can art.
Simple. Purple, white zombie. There you go. You know it's in there.
Done.
Yeah. Easy peasy. It's a nice can.
Okay. Easy peasy aluminum squeezy.
There it is.
So, who would like to learn a little bit more about North Carolina and the beers they brew and the history of brewing beer in North Carolina?
Me.
Thanks, everybody. That's good help. I would feel really bad if I didn't have support from viewers like you.
I felt like this was more of a New Mexico episode. What do you got on that?
We're not going to do a New Mexico episode for probably about 3 years. Somebody needs to find their way out there.
Or just find a way to send us beers.
Right. Yes. Or
I
just
feel
be
like
nice.
that's cheaper and easier.
It totally is.
Go to New Mexico.
We'll even take Old Mexico.
Yeah, any Mexico you want.
All right. Well, we'll work on New Mexico. But for now, we're in North Carolina. And North Carolina's brewing culture starts all the way back in the year 1585.
This is a deep dive.
Yes. This is when the first recorded instance of brewing happened in North Carolina on Roanoke Island.
Ah, okay.
The old English settlers.
Yes.
With their buckles on everything. On their hats and on their socks. They came up with beer.
You're talking
For
about
America.
the people who disappeared?
I don't think... Maybe is that story? Is that the settlement?
you know what?
Is that the settlement
Is
that
there
disappeared?
two Roanoke's?
There's Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah,
and
there's
there's
Roanoke,
Island.
I don't know.
Yeah.
One of them didn't make it.
Yeah.
Right.
So not these ones because we have beer there. So and they
Might have
made
been
it.
both of them.
I believe that is the Lost Colony.
Yes.
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
That's near the small town of Manteo, North Carolina.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
It's just off the Outer Banks.
Okay, good.
There you
Good.
go.
Good fact.
So
that-
wait, different place or same place?
It might be the same place.
Might be the same.
So that would
Yeah.
be eastern part of North Carolina?
Yes.
Maps.
On the ocean side?
On the ocean side. Yes, on the ocean side. It was 1585. They hadn't really made any roads inward yet. They just landed, then started brewing.
Oh, so they misspelled the name. Instead of Roanoke, it should have been Rhodes. Nope.
Okay. No. Well,
yeah,
that was.
that's actually pretty good for Adam.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
was
good.
pretty
It's pretty good.
That was witty. I like
He
it.
could have also gone with that's the old English.
It only comes in
But if you're at
40s.
the beach, why do you need a road inland?
But yeah, that was the first one. But for the most part, brewing in North Carolina happened in the home. Most people just homebrewed. Everybody just had their own little batches.
It's before the man wanted a cut.
Yeah, really only taverns only sold beer that was imported from England and the other people that are coming through that, like the Spanish and the Dutch, and the other beer that was sold in taverns was like stuff from the north. So everything that was brewed in PA and New York and things like that. Otherwise, you were just drinking your own stash. It was after the Revolutionary War that people actually began to switch to whiskey. And that's partially because resources started drying up. They weren't getting as many imports from England. We weren't on the greatest of terms.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they
Get
started.
your own colonies.
That's right. Well, we'll find your own.
I am the captain now.
Yeah. It's like, you're so smart, you find your own. You don't want to be a part of the empire anymore? All right, well, fuck you. But yeah, people started distilling their own whiskey because, one, it took up less space, and two, you get more bang for your buck.
That's true.
Yeah.
Whiskey's pretty good. We don't do a whiskey show because we need to be able to water. We need to be able to work and walk and
That's
do all
true.
those things after the show. The interesting thing about North Carolina, though, is, again, they got hit around Civil War times. And because Abraham Lincoln basically shut off supply lines, that once again, they outlawed brewing during the Civil War because they had to save all the grain for actually eating.
That's a pretty good reason.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, if you're gonna have one,
Right.
yeah, you can't screw around with your grains.
I won't get drunk.
Yeah, you have to have food. So yeah, it was outlawed, and then after the Civil War, just a lot of people weren't into alcohol, and they started just allowing communities and areas to outlaw and become dry counties, and they just put it up to a vote to the community. And it was so popular that North Carolina became the first state to go full prohibition in 1908.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah.
Wow.
12
So
years.
10 years. Yeah, 10, 11.
Yeah, 12 years before the 18th Amendment.
I figured that would have been like a Mississippi.
Yeah, you would think, but no, it was North Carolina.
Huh.
They're
Okay,
just-
then.
They just dipped. They're like, nah, we don't want it.
We're out.
Yeah, we don't want it.
No degenerates here.
Yeah. Then in 1933, when the repeal was up, they were one of two states to vote against ratifying it.
Really?
Yeah. They basically voted 3-1 to keep prohibition in place.
Wow.
Yeah. Even still, after it was passed in 1933 and prohibition was repealed, North Carolina still didn't serve alcohol until 1935. Wow. It was 2 years later that they finally sold alcohol again.
Yikes.
Yeah. So up until then, they really didn't have any breweries. They didn't have anything going on. It was in 1936, though, that the Atlantic Beer and Ale Company opened up in Charlotte. And it was the only brewery that was post-prohibition.
Oh, wow.
In the 70s, Schlitz and Miller, they moved in and opened up.
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause
They saw
they got
opportunity.
money.
Yeah, they saw opportunity. I think we even see it now today with all the breweries who open second locations like New Belgium and Sierra Nevada. I think North Carolina has this good logistics point.
They do, yeah, because you can reach the Northeast very quickly.
You can go up north to us, or you can go down south to Florida.
Right.
It's about the same
Pretty
travel.
strategic.
Yeah.
And those people must have been thirsty after so long of not having anything.
Right. And so that's why you see Schlitz and Miller move in. Because they're just like, oh, we can distribute to all these areas.
Right.
Yeah. It was in 1985 that they finally made brew pubs legal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty recent.
I was alive.
I mean, in the grand scheme of
Yes, we were all alive at that point.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was 1986 that the Weeping Radish Bavarian Restaurant opened, the first brew pub in North Carolina, and is now currently the oldest microbrewery in the state.
Wow.
It still continues to operate.
and I believe that is also in eastern North Carolina.
Squiggly direction.
It is.
But yeah, it was opened up by Uli Benowitz. He was a Bavarian immigrant. And his philosophy for brewing in North Carolina was he wanted to follow the Reinheitsgebot laws,
Yes.
the purity laws, and he continues to follow them today. So most of the beers you find aren't going to be wild and crazy. It's just a lot of old school styles. I think Adam would be a big fan of this place.
Absolutely.
Because, yeah, it's just like a lot of old school. They have like the Oktoberfest, obviously, for seasonals.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
They have
Yuli's still
Kolsch's.
around.
Yeah. Yeah. They're still around. They're still open, which is interesting because we find like a lot of the other states that we've profiled, you find little breweries pop up here and there in the 1990s, but they all close before the 2000s. Or, the oldest one you find is 1994. This one has been around since 85. So that's a long ass time for a brewery. The interesting thing they added is a couple years ago, they decided to apply the Reinheitsgebot philosophy to the food they bring in as well.
Oh, okay.
So they have like an on-site butchery, and they try to source all the food like within 200 miles
Makes sense.
of them. So they try to avoid additives, preservatives, and they keep it out of both the beer and the food.
They definitely subscribe to the farm to table
Right.
initiative.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, yeah, it just seemed like a really cool place. And on top of all of that, they have a sausage flight.
Yes.
So,
That sounds
Yes.
delicious.
yeah. So you can get a beer flight and then a sausage flight.
Oh, man.
And that definitely appeals to people in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if you're ever down there, check out Weeping Radish.
They could have picked the worst name for that.
I don't get the name. I don't think I read that part. But yeah, it was another interesting thing that kind of brings us to modern beer drinking in North Carolina. 2005, they had what was called the Pop the Cap Bill.
Okay.
And what the Pop the Cap Bill did was it reclassified beer in the state. Up until 2005, everything that was 6% and under was considered beer. You couldn't brew.
Oh, so anything over 6%, they just said was illegal?
They considered it not beer. I don't know if you could. I don't think you could produce it.
Huh.
Because
But-
sometimes it just happens.
Right, but if you did, it may have gotten a different classification.
Oh,
And who's
okay.
coming around testing this? Who's coming around testing it? All you have to do is report it's a 5.9.
Well, then you can't. Well, no, but I mean, you couldn't produce anything that was like 9% or 8%. Yeah, like you couldn't produce anything big.
You can just sandbag it.
Yeah, if you did, I think it had to go through the state liquor. Because I think they're like us in that their liquor is controlled by the state and is sold through state stores.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Maybe, Brian, did you see any like state stores while you were down there?
I did not, and they sold wine and beer
Okay.
in the grocery store,
Yeah.
convenience stores.
I think like with the Pop the Cap is what it did is it elevated all the ABVs to include malt beverages up to like 15-16%.
Okay, so similar to what we saw with West Virginia a few weeks ago.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I do know it's illegal to own a still.
Well, I think it's illegal to own a still in most places.
No, you can own one.
Just that smile, that crap.
Brian the Pawn, but I mean, it's really illegal in North Carolina.
Here it's like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, it's definitely really illegal in North Carolina because that's where bootlegging got real popular. And it got so popular that now that we have NASCAR.
Hey, it's
Yes.
true.
Yeah. That's the truth. Adam will tell you about that.
It's true.
NASCAR originated from bootleggers.
Good times.
Yeah. But nowadays, North Carolina is home to almost 300, just around 300 breweries.
Wow.
Yeah. Including ones that we've talked about already, D9 and
Catawba.
Catawba. Other favorite ones of ours, Burial.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Is.
Especially for the can art.
Yeah, can art.
What's inside the can too?
Yeah,
That
no,
counts.
it's
What's on
both.
the inside that counts.
It's both for me. I like everything that Burial puts out. High wire, Noda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we also talked about the collaboratory that was opened by Canarchy down there. That just brings in everybody like Green Man and Sierra Nevada to just fuck around and
That's cool.
create whatever. One other last thing that I found interesting about North Carolina is they are part of kind of the craft maltster movement, and they are home to 3 craft maltsters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Riverbend out of Asheville, the Carolina Malt House out of Cleveland, North Carolina.
Oh, that's gotta be confusing.
Yeah. And the Epiphany Craft Malt out of Durham.
Oh,
Right on.
nice.
Yeah.
Go Durham.
Yeah. So, yeah. I thought those are the interesting things that I found out about North Carolina.
Those were all good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yep. Brian, did you have anything interesting from your experience down there? That any other breweries that you visited?
No, I didn't get to actually visit any breweries. It was a family trip. So, and it was only a few days, but I did get to go and pick up the beers that we're having tonight. And I wish I could have visited some breweries.
But you did have some fun, though. You said you were out in the river.
Lake Norman.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
Fishing or just relaxing?
Boating, jet skiing,
Oh, yeah.
all that fun stuff.
It is fun.
Drinking beer.
You got to do it all day. What was your favorite sipper?
Actually, I took some Hitchhiker down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Do
right.
you remember which one? Or which?
Oh, it was the inside outside. Is that what I think it's called? Outside
They have so
inside,
many
something like
unique
that.
ones.
Yeah, it's one of their IPAs.
Nice. Oh.
Adam would have loved it.
Yeah, it's always good to introduce Pennsylvania beers into another ecosystem.
It's true.
I mean, that's what Southern Tier is doing
Right.
because they've got their own brew pub there in Charlotte.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
They're
they-
sliding out there.
Mhm.
They get to introduce Victory, 6 Point, and Southern
Yeah,
Tier all out of that space. So, yeah. Another thing to check out when you're traveling through North Carolina. But, yeah. Speaking of a beer that Adam does like, for real, no sarcasm,
Correct.
we have the Catawba, a White Zombie,
Yes.
Witbier. Adam, why don't you go ahead and talk about this one, because I'm sure it's going to be your favorite of the evening.
Well, we don't know that, but probably.
We suspect.
Yeah, probably. No, this was a good beer. I think this is another one. I don't think this is necessarily a lake drinker, but I think this is a lakeside drinker. I think if you're sitting on the docks, enjoying an evening, I think this would be a great beer for that. I liked it. I thought it was a good beer. I'd get a 6-pack. I'd rip it up.
Brian, what were your thoughts on this beer?
I liked it. It was pretty clean. Pretty nice, probably on a cooler summer night with the spice. But yeah, nice, easy drinker, and it was delicious.
Did you take away any notes or anything that you,
Yeah, it was
that you were
definitely-
hoping to apply to your own wit beer that you said you were just brewing?
Well, no, because I'm going to put lots of coconut rum and pineapple in
Ooh.
my whip beer.
All right, then.
That sounds like fun.
Oh, what's that? You could call it a different kind of zombie.
Actually, I'm thinking about calling it Escape.
Dude, you can call that a mutated zombie.
Well, I was like, isn't the zombie cocktail like blue curacao and then all that shit? Yeah,
Could be.
yeah.
Just call it Thunderkiss 65 and be done with it.
Dennis, thoughts?
I liked it. I thought it was a very stand-up beer. White ales are great drinkers, but I like things traditional that pack a little bit more of a punch. But that was definitely a good, like you guys said, a late sitting on the docks of the bay sipper for sure.
Oh, no. This is a white zombie, not a Otis Redding.
Sitting on the docks of the bay.
I don't think he was so angry when he sang that. So. He wasn't through gritted teeth.
That's
You know what's good for you.
That's the Rob Zombie cover. Sitting on the docks of the bay. See a scary witch.
I would pay good money to hear that. Good, honest,
It's good to
hard-earned
know
money.
when I feel soulful, I just sound angry, which makes sense. I'm quite content.
Yeah, for me, I'll just agree with what everybody else was saying. It's a good drinker, and with wit beers, I like either if it highlights an orange or it highlights a spice. This one highlights spice a little bit better, but it's still very refreshing despite having that little spice kicker to it. So yeah, otherwise, a really good beer. And I think it's time for us to take a break. We'll come back with segment 3, and we'll have one more North Carolina beer and something fun to do.
In theory.
In theory.
Well, it's going to be fun for some people.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay, bye.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I am Jesse. So, like, what is American Slacker, I guess, right?
The highest amount of dick jokes per episode per podcast.
We've been on the air for 57 straight years.
57 straight years of dick jokes.
Thing is constantly soaring over my head.
And you pulling my chain in your weekly weird news.
We're also cannabis friendly. We kind of sneak it in there, almost like you're lacing the brownies at the family reunion.
It's the ride of your motherfucking life.
Fucking 11 when there's only 10 on the dial.
Weapons of mass destruction.
It's a threat to society.
Food assaults.
Yeah, that happens too sometimes. An ostrich took a lit match into a fireworks factory.
I don't even know where to go with that one.
No, that's our third story.
Oh my God. America, what are you doing?
There's always someone dumb getting fucked over.
Well, they should have never gave raccoons rights, in my opinion.
Oh my God. You can help us. You can help everyone.
Download our shit now.
We're second America.
Welcome back. It's segment 3 of episode 116 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. We're here drinking North Carolina beer brought back by Bryan from breweries.
That all makes sense.
Yeah, it all adds up.
There's no murder mystery there.
I don't know. We've been murdering these beers pretty good. That makes
Yeah.
true. Quick.
Yeah.
No mystery.
Well, get ready for your next murder. And this might be an assassination of character as well.
Oh, man.
But the third beer of the evening is the Pernicious IPA by Wicked Weed Brewing. Now, this show is a craft beer podcast.
True.
It's not an independent beer podcast.
It's good to note that.
Just to note that we've always said craft beer, and we do still consider this craft despite its ownership. And it's only fair to give it its due diligence.
Yes, we are able to compartmentalize that.
Yes. You have to. If it tastes good, it just tastes good.
Mhm.
Right.
That's just what it is. If that makes you mad, you should stop being so mad at stupid shit.
There's bigger problems in the world.
You should go
Yeah.
volunteer at your local soup kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Or animal shelter.
Or animal shelter.
Or both.
Go help somebody.
Just not on
Yeah.
the same day. That's a pack schedule.
Ooh, that is.
Yeah. You gotta alternate days.
Animal shelter, pack schedule. I get it. Animal jokes.
I was going to let that one slide. I was like, they going to get it? I don't know.
This beer, though, it clocks in at 7.3 ABV, and it has 70 IBUs. And it is meant to mimic West Coast IPAs, despite being brewed in the southeast of America. Aha. So no matter what, no matter the ownership, Adam will be mad.
But like I said, we can compartmentalize. Still doesn't mean I'm going to like it, but I'm willing to try. So just a neat little note while you're pouring here, Steve. One thing I noticed, because I got on the old Untapped as one tends to do, just to look up some information. And one thing I noticed when I looked up Wicked Weed, the reason I was looking to see where they're out of Asheville. So, okay, that makes sense. That's a hub. But what's interesting is they now have a tag on the Wicked Weed Brewing to say that it is a subsidiary of Anheuser-Busch on Untapped.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I found that very interesting. Yeah,
I'm not trying to hide it. I mean,
no.
No. It's just interesting that Untapped is now tagging things that aren't independent.
Yeah,
because it was, Brewers Association released the independent label,
right.
So, but now Untapped seems to have taken it upon themselves to just tag things
Which
that
you
aren't.
would think if they didn't have the independent label, you would assume that they're not independent.
Well, I mean, not everybody is signed up for that program, though.
True.
Yeah. So not everybody who's independent necessarily wants that on their cans and stuff.
Okay.
and the other interesting thing is they are actually listed as a macro brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have
they're
to
under
be.
that umbrella. Right, I get that.
Yeah,
I found it very interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen one
Yeah.
like that on Untapped.
But again, I don't really care for right now because if this is a good beer for you guys,
He already knows it's not going to be for him.
Adam has a lot of useless knowledge in his head right now. He's like, I know a lot about Wicked Weed that I don't care about.
no.
Looking at this beer, though, it does exemplify a good West Coast IPA.
Yes.
It has that nice golden straw color, and it is
Very
completely clear.
Oh, God, yeah. You could definitely smell a fresh bouquet of hops.
Oh, that's a resin.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah. Not a 6-point resin. King of the IPAs.
Adam's not even like giving it a little bit of nose.
I
nothing.
smelled it. I already know I'm not going to like
You smell
it.
it from across the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's hoppy as a mug.
Yep. But it don't taste like a pine tree.
Yeah.
Adam might argue with that.
No, that ain't it, Chief.
Nope.
You look like someone starring on Forensic Files right now. Yeah, I never did think he would do that. I had no idea.
Who in
Hate
their
him.
right mind? I'm just looking at all these files and I'm connecting this all together. Who is just the criminal that put this together?
Who would do this?
Who are you?
I always knew something was right about that boy.
Just got bits of red string going all over the table, connecting it all together.
Dude, there's like multiple waves of hops. Like as you're drinking it,
Yeah.
you get some up front, carries you through the middle, and then just like hit you with a sledgehammer in the back end. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
It's a stupid beer. There, I said it.
Yeah, so Adam is mad at it. I'm not.
No,
I'm not particularly impressed, but I do like the fact that I'm drinking a West Coast as compared to soft baby kisses of a New England IPA.
You get to go back to the old country way.
Yeah.
Bring her back, make you humble.
Yeah, I appreciate
Old style.
having West Coast, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not like my socks aren't blown off.
Yeah. It says that they use heavy resinous American hops.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be anything.
Floor sweepings.
Yeah. It could be anything from pine needles to
Yeah. Floors.
yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's a fine drinker. I don't completely hate it, but I'm just not, blown away.
Right.
I mean, I think there's a lot of, or at least pre-2015, there was a lot of hype for Wicked Weed. And now that I'm having my first one,
Right.
I don't know, my socks are still on.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's good, and I appreciate it being a West Coast. And they did West Coast well for being a North Carolina
Right.
brewery, so.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well.
So then, I believe it is time to blow them out of the water
Uh-huh.
with our own beer
Okay.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
man.
that we create in our very own episode of Beerify It.
Yes. It's been a while since we've done Beerify It, but, currently sitting at the table are 4 different home brewers. We all have our own tastes. We all have our own ideas.
It's true.
I thought it was a good idea that we should try to beerify a North Carolina beer from Pennsylvania.
Yes. What we're going to do is whatever beer we make, we have to make sure we put an OBX sticker on it. That way everybody knows
Yeah.
that we went there.
Everybody has to know.
It's kind of like having XR racing mats in your car. It just goes faster.
What we're going to do is we're going to create the North Carolina beer. First things first, what is North Carolina? Of course.
State.
But what state?
One of them.
It is the Tar Heel state.
Ah. Wait, the what heel?
Tar Heel.
Tar Heel.
Hence the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yeah, no.
The alma mater of one Michael Jordan.
Heard about them?
I heard.
It's a thing. So with that in mind, I believe that with it being the Tar Heel state, we're going to have a beer that's dark. We're going to have a beer that is tar. Heavy. Gluttonous.
Dwark.
What?
Dwark.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dwark.
I was like, yep, Steve's
That's the
finally
wrong
lost
state.
it. If it kept happening, I would have called a doctor.
Me a dwark.
Did you blow a blood vessel?
Yeah, no, I kind of thought it was a stroke, too.
Yeah.
I was like,
Are we going to have to stop this?
oh, I'll catch you guys later.
Turns out podcast is over forever because he's the only one who knows how to run the board.
Canceled.
But reeling it back in with our Tar Heel beer, it's going to have to be just a tar black stout.
Yes. That means you have to make it darker than the High Wire 10W40 series.
Yes. Everybody agrees?
I agree.
Okay. All right. With North Carolina, you obviously have several areas we're going to have to cover here. We've got the beaches of the Outer Banks. We've got the Piedmonts. We've got the Smoky Mountains. We've got the metropolitan areas of, the Triangle with Raleigh and Charlotte. We're going to have to address all of those.
Okay.
Barbecue.
We also have the barbecue. Now, East Carolina barbecue, mustard-based, is the best.
Mustard-based.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the best.
Yes.
Kansas City can go kick rocks.
I mean, not kick rocks, but I mean, I do actually. The last two sauces I bought, one was Kansas City and the other was the mustard style. So
I'm partial to the Carolina barbecue.
I think mustard style is real good with pulled pork.
Now, if only Uncle Jamie would call me right now, then he could partake in this.
Are we going to have to brew it fast for NASCAR?
Ooh, now there's an idea. We're gonna have to have a.
Yeah, but they're not drinking stouts at NASCAR.
You've never been to a NASCAR race,
I
have you?
have not, no.
I don't drink anything.
There's like boxed wine in the stands with them.
It's easy to transport.
Oh, God.
So we've mentioned both barbecue and the Smoky Mountains. I think this has to be a smoked beer.
That makes sense.
Yes.
A smoked stout does make sense.
Yes. A Rauschbier.
Yes.
Smoked pepper stout.
And then
Ooh,
obviously you got to
okay.
have some rye in there then.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe some smoked rye.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all the whiskey drinking.
Dude,
and
yeah,
the
it's going to
bootlegging.
happen.
And the bootlegging.
Playing
and the
homage.
distilling.
Brian, you had talked about making bringing some peppers into this as well, correct?
Correct.
If I remember correctly, Butt Pucker is out of North Carolina, which is the home of the Carolina Reaper.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Ooh.
So
We got to
have
bring
a
them into play.
spicy, smoky rye stout.
Yes.
But do we want the pepper to actually play a lot in the spice or on the flavor of the pepper itself?
The spice.
The spice.
Carolina Reapers don't have any actual flavor
They don't.
to them. No, it's
Hate.
just all hot.
It's just all
just
hate and
hate.
malice
Yeah.
and contempt.
Use the pepper for the heat, not the flavor.
Yeah. It's like after you cross past habanero, nothing has flavor. It's just all nightmares. It's sweating.
Just keep an extra pack of O-rings.
Right, exactly.
They're just dick swinging beers.
Right. Dick
Dick
swinging
peppers.
peppers.
That's what I was going for.
But it's both.
Yeah.
If you
BDPs,
brew-
man. BDPs, big
Yeah.
dick peppers.
We could also try using Pepper X.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we can get our hands on it.
If the even hotter one. Well, I mean, you just got to ask Pepper Ed or whatever his name is. The owner of Butt Pucker.
Right.
Pucker Butt. It's Pucker Butt.
Which I'm really
Ed
glad
Puckerbutt.
that they are successful with a name like Butt Pucker.
I think it's Pucker Butt.
Pucker Butt?
I think it might be Pucker
Oh,
Butt.
okay. Whichever one it is.
It's one of those two.
I'm glad
Look
they're
it up.
successful.
Either way, it means the same thing.
Well,
look that up.
well, it's just like you Google it and one thing might come up.
Ooh, that's true. Do not click on images.
Safe search on.
Safe search on. So yeah, we've got the smoky Roush, we've got the barbecue spices, we've got peppers for spices, we've got the rye for the whiskey, we got the dark stout for the Tar Heels. What are we missing? Anything else we can add in?
Also, we got to decide like what hop profile, unless you're doing this in stages.
I think we can.
Right, or are we just gonna go with Fuggle?
Hell yeah, Fuggle.
Like, I know Adam loves that Fuggle, but
Given the choice.
with all the other adjuncts and everything we're putting in there, do you think like are they just gonna
Very low
overpower
hop.
whoever? Yeah, we don't
Low
want them
hop.
fighting each other. Like,
Yeah. If anything, you're maybe looking at like
Unless you want to put a little pine in there from the mountains.
right.
From the Piedmonts.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. That's actually where I was going to go with
Substitute
that.
that for the hops.
Yeah. So it becomes more of almost like a sauté instead of just a straight up stout. Because you're brewing it in the old Viking style. Not that Vikings have anything to do with North Carolina.
That's much more of a Minnesota thing.
Yeah. That's a Minnesota and a Halifax thing. You can sell it both there. But yeah, take some pine needles. Give it a little spruce.
Or spruce tips.
A little spruce.
damn, that's a lot going on in there.
Well, this is tourists from PA brewing what they think North Carolina should have. And put an OBX sticker on it.
Slap it on there.
It sounds good.
I think we've got most of it covered.
I think we've got most of it. I'm trying to think if
We
there's
need the
any...
speed. The speed.
Yeah.
We could serve it out of a 3-man water balloon launcher.
Okay.
Wait, didn't Brewdog brew a beer on the NASCAR track?
Did they? That sounds like something Brewdog would
I think
do.
they did.
Sounds right.
Ooh, we could put ours just in the back of a pace car.
Actually, it was one of the the trucks from the trucks series.
Ah.
I did not know that.
Huh. That's not surprising, though.
No, that sounds like something they would do.
Yeah.
Showboating.
No, show trucking.
Show trucking.
So trucking.
They have done showboating, though, because they brewed a beer on a fishing boat.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
Seattle.
Insane.
Yeah. And then they've also brewed a beer by sinking it to the bottom. Of
Oh, yeah, I
the-
know about that. Is that
Yeah.
the one they put in a taxidermy squirrel?
No.
No.
No,
that
that's,
one's
that's a whole
different,
other
too.
beer.
Oh.
That one's
Yeah.
different, too.
See, it's just insane. It's insane.
No, the taxidermy squirrel one, they used an old ice cream factory to achieve the low temperature to separate the beer and alcohol.
Did they call that cold distilling?
Yeah. 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 That's a good old cold distill. We could cold distill this beer that we're talking about. It's kind of like cheap distilling.
We needed a name though. That's the hard part is coming up with a name for this.
I didn't know. I know how it should be distributed, though.
How should it be distributed? You talk about that while
Really
we
quickly in the
brainstorm.
NASCAR.
Well, yeah, it should be distributed just by cars running along state lines.
In a black Trans Am.
Bootlegging. No, man.
With a truck painted with a horse and wagon.
Very subtle.
You know, you could call it the Boss Hog.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the Dukes of Hazzard was in Georgia.
Yeah, well,
Totally different
could,
state.
Could call it Boss Hog. I'm just saying. It's a thing to call it. It's all bootlegging. It's all bootlegging to me.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, we may as well go back to Mayberry.
How about just the Tar Heel Stout?
But there's so much more going on in there. Like, we got the spices, we got the peppers. Like, I think the name has to, like, kind of encompass that.
That's why I was thinking Boss Hog, because that's bootlegging and barbecue.
You could just call it the Need for Speed Stout.
That's pretty
Because
close to the
the-
Speedway Stout.
Need for Speedway. The need for Sued by Alesmith stout.
Because the spiciness is, like, kicking on nitro.
Or you may need the need for speed in the morning.
That's true.
That's a very good point. How we would serve it is on nitro
Yeah.
to take
there
care
you
of
go.
the speed.
Yep.
Ah,
Nice.
ah.
I like
Smart.
I still think it should be on the back of a pace car.
Why not both?
Okay, both.
While we live in this magical
Both
world, if anything's possible.
Yes, it's a magical, magical world of everything's possible.
Listen, when you got Hop Nation money, you can make things like this happen.
Live
You
your
guys have
dreams.
the greatest sponsors.
Sure do, First Sip Brew Box.
Yep, we're all in the same boat.
Thanks for coming on and drinking somebody else's beer.
I'll do it anytime.
If anybody's got something else,
Nitro Speed Stout.
I don't have a good name, so I can't give one.
Brian, it's down to you. I'm wrong. Dennis has something. Adam has nothing. You got to beat Dennis. You got to beat Dennis to win.
That's right.
Or we could just say Ain't Dry County No More Stout. But it's long, but it plays on the history.
Sure does.
Oh, how about this Carolina Reaper Stout?
Carolina Reaper Stout. Although I already brewed that, so no.
Carolina
But
Grim
craft
Reaper
beer has had tons of like insane names.
Yeah.
So I think Ain't Dry County No More Stout, even though it sounds long, it really isn't compared to like all the crazy stuff that's out there.
Yeah. Maybe the Carolina Rebellion?
Oh, that's a good one.
We're
There we
getting
go.
on there.
Yeah.
I like the Carolina Rebellion.
Because you're rebelling against the old history.
Yeah.
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 But it has the Carolina pepper in it. Yeah.
I like it. You win.
Done.
Okay.
Lock it
Nailed
in.
it.
I did it with the help of all of you.
Aw.
We had to go through all the things that were wrong. And then So yes, the Carolina Rebellion, a completely black stout that's made with smoked rye, barbecue spice and little mustard pellets,
Yeah.
and Carolina Reaper peppers
Oh God,
And
it sounds like
spruce
a whole
tips.
meal.
and spruce tips
On nitro.
instead of hops. Yes, on nitro.
That's a damn meal.
Hell yeah.
Well, it would. Oh God, it's gonna compete with like all the burgers and all the barbecue.
Yeah. It's gonna be savory. That's the new thing, savory beers.
All right, now we gotta actually do it.
We don't have to do it. I say anybody who's down at the co-laboratory should do it.
Hit us up. We'll come down and help you out.
Figure it out, Cigar City.
Or any home brewer that's listening to this, just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
Let us
or
know.
any of those kids at NC State that we talked about. You do it. Get yourself an internship at New Belgium.
And then invite us down.
Yeah, and then sell them the recipe. And then once they buy the recipe, then we sue New Belgium because they stole our recipe because that wasn't a recipe to be sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money.
Done. When you ain't got wealthy sponsors, you find a way.
And then Adam gets to drive the pace car just like he wants.
Then we'll have PD Pablo money.
Raise up. Well, then, until that time, we'll just stick to drinking the beers that we have. And that includes the Wicked Weed Pernicious IPA. Final thoughts?
I was a fan. I mean, I know it was a little not what you were expecting, Steve, but it hit the hop profile that I liked. Just a wave of continuous hop punches to my tongue. I enjoyed it.
Brian?
I really liked it. I really like West Coast IPAs, just as long as it's not like I'm licking a pine car air freshener.
Dropping sap on your tongue.
Right. It was, it's
Ooh.
very good. A little strong to be a all-day drinker, but it's very good.
Yeah, I'd agree with what you just said, Brian. It's a little much to just drink it all day, but it's still a good representation of a West Coast IPA. But yeah, otherwise it's not completely amazing. It's just kind of like,
Right.
Here's a good West Coast IPA. Here's one that's in their portfolio, but it's
Done
not
in the Southeast.
Yeah. So yeah, if if you can get it in North Carolina because you're not in California anymore, you're not in Oregon, you go to something, and that's a good example of one. So there you go, Adam.
Pointless and tedious to get through.
Okay.
It was shallow and pedantic. It's like, are you a food critic now?
Nah.
I don't think you could call it shallow because there's way too much flavor in it.
That is true.
That's not shallow.
Unfortunately, all of those flavors are flavors that I don't particularly like.
Right. Tasteless wheat beers you can call shallow. Cream ales you can call shallow. This is
Just
Not shallow.
Yeah.
This is a punch.
it's a slog to get through.
Yeah.
I didn't like
For
it.
you.
For me.
For you.
Everybody knows that going
Right.
in.
Right.
And to the surprise of nobody. I didn't like it.
So with that in mind, let's jump right to the podium. Who wants to rank their beers first?
I'll go. What the hell?
Okay.
I'll just continue my conversation. Hey, guess what was in third place? Wicked Weed. Hey, I just told you why. Yeah, didn't like it. More style than anything else. It knife to a gunfight when it comes to my palate. It wasn't gonna win, and it didn't. So, yeah, I don't need to explain it any further. In the silver medal position, this is where things do get a bit tougher, but I do believe I'm going to put the D9 Tropical IPA, the Hakuna Matata, in the silver medal position. That was a lot more palatable. It was a lot more enjoyable compared to what Wicked Weed had. It didn't quite have the tropicalness that I was hoping for. It didn't have the Tropicana taste that Heavy Seas has with their tropical IPA. I would put those two on the same kind of platform, but I would still give the edge to the Tropicana. I didn't think the D9 was quite there. Still a good beer for a tropical IPA, but it wasn't the best that I've ever had. But for the gold medal position, I got to go with Catawba, the White Zombie, the White Ale. 7 glorious IBUs. Good beer, good drinker. If I had to make a choice between the three, grab a 6-pack. No doubt, far and away winner. Catawba gets it with the White Zombie.
Right on. I'm going to go next, and I'm going to echo what Adam said about the bronze. Not for the same reasons. I actually did like the beer. But I'm going to put the Wicked Weed Pernicious IPA in there. And it's simply just going in the bronze for 2 reasons. One, it's generally kind of average. I've had better West Coast style IPAs that have like more flavor. And the other thing is that you can't drink a whole bunch of these because you will get palate fatigue pretty quickly. And it's fine. It's good. It's drinkable. It's just I've had better West Coast IPAs. With that in mind, I'm going to put the White Zombie in silver, differing from Adam. I like this beer a lot too. It's just that it has a little bit of a thickness to it, and it has the spice kick. Can also wear on your palate a little bit more. And I like this beer though because it really does prove like the seasonalness of it wasn't enough for just fall. Like I could drink this any time of year. It just so happens that we're in summer and I'm sweaty, so I want something that is super refreshing. And the White Zombie isn't as refreshing as the D9 Tropical IPA. The Hakuna Matata is super refreshing, super easy drinking. I already said I would just drag this along behind an inner tube and just drink it all day. And I think it's 7% or so. So you could crush a good number of these and still, catch a quick buzz.
It's a Mario Lemieux. It's 6.6.
6.6. So yeah, so pretty close to 7%. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's a nice robust beer. It has, and you're not going to wear out your palate because even though it may not have the best representation of a tropical IPA, because I agree with Adam in saying the Tropicana, that one has a lot of pineapple flavor.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Seas.
Heavy seas. But this one is still just very refreshing, and I would just love to have a bunch more. Hey, D9, send more beers. Dennis, Adam?
Yeah.
Dennis, Bryan?
So what I would say coming up in the bronze position, this is actually kind of interesting. This may be the first time we all ended up with extremely different rankings. Typically, one out of the two of us kind of favor each other, I guess. So in bronze position is actually going to go to Catawba White Zombie White Ale. I thought it was definitely a really good beer. Now, they were all good beers tonight. However, that beer just didn't have anything that stuck out enough to me. It was a refreshing drinker, but if it would have played a little bit more in the coriander or played a little bit more on the spice notes, there just wasn't any peaks. It was just a plateau, which again, it's refreshing, but me personally, I need a little bit more than that. In the silver category, I'm going to put the Wicked Weed IPA. Like I said earlier, it just hits you in about 3 different waves of hops, just rolling along the back of your tongue to the back of your throat. I enjoyed it, but exactly like Steve said, it's so heavy that you can't do that all day. You can have one Maybe have some more, though, white zombies, and then have another one. But coming up in my gold category goes to D9 Tropical IPA, the Hakuna Matata. It gave me enough of a little knowing that the hop's there to keep my hop profile happy, but it was also refreshing enough to where I could drink that all day.
Right on. Well, Brian, you brought back the beers from the breweries that were in North Carolina, so why don't you bring in your reviews? I couldn't really find more bees. So your reviews for the brews.
Actually, my ratings are going to be the same as Dennis. I have drank these beers over the weekend, and over the weekend I would have said Wicked Weed would have been in first place for me, but after drinking them again, definitely White Zombie in the bronze. It's just, it's Blue Moon basically. It's, you can get it anywhere. It's basic, but it's an easy drinker. In the silver, I'm gonna go with the Wicked Weed. Very good West Coast IPA. A lot of hops going on. Just can't drink a lot of them, or you're gonna not taste anything for 3 days. And in the gold, the D9 Tropical IPA. It's just refreshing. It's an easy drinker on a summer day. Probably can throw back 6 of these easily.
That's true.
And
challenge accepted.
yes. So that's it.
Right on. Well, thanks again for bringing these beers back for us.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's nice being able to try a new state. I mean, even though we've had D9 before, it's still it's good to have more.
Right.
I want more. More D9 and more burial. How the fuck do we make this happen?
I'll go back down again.
Just need to email, hit them up on Facebook. Have the fans out there listening to this hit them up.
I just want somebody to distro them. I don't need people to
crowdsource.
I don't want people to work their ass off. I just want distro in our area.
Sliding into the DMs isn't working too hard.
No,
that's evil genius.
Yeah, I just don't want to tax. I don't want to tax people. Also, the thing is, if it's coming by mail, I have to wait. I don't want to wait. I just want to go JR's and get my damn crowlers, a burial, and the skillet and the griddle.
No, if you're gonna find it anywhere, it's gonna be JR's.
I know if I find it.
Actually, they need to be one of the sponsors. We talk about them so much.
JR's and the House of Beers, and should all give us beer.
That was Steve turning into a grouchy old man.
Yeah, we just give somebody
give us beer.
Vintage Estate. We give them all fucking free advertising all the time,
and our monies.
Huh?
They and our monies.
And our monies for buying. Yeah, they take our monies for buying beers, but. Anyway, Dennis, what do you have coming up? Go back through your dates. You got Freshfest coming up August 10th.
Yep, Freshfest coming up. We have a pop-up event at Fury Brewing on Irwin, right outside of Pittsburgh. We have something in the works for NX Brewing. We're going to do a Freshfest event down there as well. So just stay tuned, really, on our social medias at First Hit Brew Box on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We post all that stuff out there, and we're going to have some really unique events coming up.
Right on. And Brian, you got Cooper's Lake coming up, and anything else your people can come and taste your beers at?
Not my beers, but Trub has their Brewing Up a Cure on October
12th, maybe?
No.
Okay.
Hang on.
19th.
19th.
October 19th.
I was a weekend off.
We had to find the clues.
At the Energy Innovation Center.
Yeah.
On the north side.
We'll be at that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not sharing beer, we'll be drinking.
Yeah. We'll be sharing with ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of shit.
Yeah. We love Cooper's Lake and we love Brewing Up a Cure, so you'll be able to find us walking around there.
Yes.
Take a picture if you want.
Smoking and barbecuing.
Nice.
Oh, man, that sounds so good.
Well, if you want to find us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA, and that'll get you Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes of the Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA on your favorite podcatcher, like Stitcher, Podbean, Google Music Play, Google Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Laughable, Player FM, a bunch of other stuff.
I feel like there's more every time.
Castify.
Wait, are
Spotify.
all these real?
Sometimes.
Okay, cool. You have people out there looking that up.
All you have to do is search Hop Nation USA. Like, just
That's
put
true.
it,
Just
just
make
put
it
it into
easy for
Google and you'll
yourself.
find
Yeah.
it. Like, you know, but if you're on like the big platforms like Spotify, Apple, or iHeartRadio, we're on all those too. But if you're on any of those platforms, leave us a 5-star review because
We are a 6-star show, but they only let us use 5.
and that's a bigger crime than D9 and Burial not distroing to Pittsburgh.
Damn it.
Damn it. But with that, we will be back next week, and we'll be drinking IPAs.
Yes.
I can tell you that for sure. These IPAs are going to be bigger and stronger, tougher than the ones we had today.
Stupider.
That's stupider. More awesome. Double awesome.
With a special guest host.
Yeah, Sam's back.
Yeah, Sam's back.
That's why we're drinking IPAs. That's all it is.
I know.
Basically, we've just plotted it out.
King of hops or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's a hophead for sure.
Sam is my backup when we drink IPAs. And
I'll get ganged up on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm
Sorry.
already mentally preparing for next week's episode. I already know what's going to happen.
Sorry. And then week after that, we'll be doing something. Dennis will be back.
Yeah.
We'll probably be talking Freshfest. And if you listen in, you can win a ticket to Freshfest.
Yes.
So 2 weeks from now, tune in.
Tease.
Tease. For now, though, we'll just see you next week.